manifestors, how's it going? This is Tarkan back with another video. So I'm going to do some end of the week comments. I know it's been a little while since I've uploaded another video, and I did that podcast episode a couple of days ago. If you missed that, go and check it out. It's going to be just below this video. So it's actually the last one I uploaded. You can also listen to the podcasts in Spotify, on iTunes, and various other places. It's all in the description box below, guys. So I hope everybody is doing okay out there. I'm going to read a couple of your comments. It's going to be a really simple video. There's a few good ones and just a few good questions that I think are important to answer and address that hopefully will quell your curiosity about that similar topic that these viewers are bringing up. So, let's get into it. First one is from PacFan1015. I am at the point to where I feel like getting her back, SP, right, specific person, doesn't really feel that important. Am I doing something wrong? I love this comment because this is such an important point to make, and it gives me an opportunity to make this point. So thank you for that comment. No, you're not doing anything wrong. Not only are you not doing anything wrong, in fact, you're doing the opposite of anything wrong. You're doing it right. When you feel that your desire, the one that's been your most burning desire all this time, right? The one you think about all the time and obsess about all the time, when you get to a point where it doesn't feel so important to you anymore, that's actually a huge indication, guys, that you're moving in the right direction, that you've let go of a lot of your resistance. Now, you've either let go of it willingly or not so willingly. And what I mean by that is, when I say not so willingly, what I mean by that is that, sometimes or very often when we stress ourselves out so much about it and we put so much energy into this desire and into the resistance we have towards that desire. In other words, worry thoughts, fear thoughts. I can't be happy without it. I need it to be happy. Always thinking about it, always obsessing about it. It's exhausting. It drains your energy faster than anything else. And I know so many of you guys out there understand what I'm talking about. You get into that hamster wheel with your desires and your manifesting. You think that obsessing about it all the time is what's going to bring it about. It's not. It has the opposite effect, because when you're obsessing about something, you're not actually focusing on having that thing. What you're focusing on is it's not there. It's not here. So what must I do? I must do something. I must take action. I must get it into my life, because without it, I'm miserable. I'm unhappy. I'm unwhole. Everything sucks. That's not how you're going to manifest what you want. You're going to manifest more of what you don't want doing that, okay? What happens, though, is you exhaust yourself doing that. You exhaust yourself doing that to the point where, and how many times have I heard this? I give up. I throw up my hands. I surrender, right? It's not going to come. To hell with it. I just don't have any energy left. And then something moves. Something happens. And you go, what the hell? What the hell happened? Well, you let go is what happened. The thing you should have been doing the whole time, you finally did it. But you did it kicking and screaming, okay? Till you finally get to the point where you have no energy left because you've exhausted yourself so much by obsessing about this thing so much. But this is precisely the point you want to be at. You want to be, how many times do I say this? I want it, but I don't need it. I want it. I'm happy where I am right now, but I'm reaching for more. That's the attitude you want to have. That's the powerful middle point, that neutral zone of manifesting, powerful manifesting, guys. You've got to make your most burning desire equal to your desire for eating, a certain kind of breakfast this morning, or having a cup of coffee, or whatever thing is that you want but don't put so much importance to. It's got to be like that. If you're obsessing about it all the time, all day long, every day, guess what you're not doing? You're not focusing on yourself. You're not feeling good, that's for sure. You're wasting your energy, just throwing it out the window. You're exhausting yourself. It's not a good way to go. So you've got to reconcile this obsession you have first. And the way you do it is by focusing on yourself and making yourself bigger in your mind than you have been. Because the fact that you're obsessing about another person is a clear indication that you don't have enough self-love and self-respect and self-appreciation going on. Because you make this other person more important than you in your life. You gotta stop. You gotta stop with that. And I'm going to keep saying it till I'm blue in the face, until your ears bleed. You need to listen here. You got to stop with the obsessing, okay? But look, here's what's going on. I don't know enough from your comment to know if this is the case or not, but possibly. But the fact that you're asking, am I doing something wrong, indicates that you're probably one of those people that sits around and obsesses about them and obsesses about it all day long. So to the point where you probably exhausted yourself. And now you're like, I don't even care anymore. Good. That's where you want to be. Now, not caring anymore, not seeing it as important, is not going to stop your manifestation. It's just the opposite. You want to have a light touch, a light approach to this thing. Oh, wouldn't it be great if? Wouldn't it be nice if? Not, I need this, I'm going to burst if I don't get it. Okay? Do you see the difference? And you'll know the difference in the way that you feel. And so finally you're letting go of the resistance, of the obsession, of the need. It's not as important to you anymore. Good. That means you're pointed in the direction of the thing you want. Just be easy about it. Be playful about it. Don't treat it like anything more important than anything else in your life, and certainly not more important than yourself. Okay? That's vital, guys. I can't stress this enough. You're not going to manifest anything or anyone by obsessing and stressing and worrying about it all day long. Okay? And I know you've probably read a lot of other material about this stuff saying, you must think always about it. No, you don't have to always think about it. In fact, if you're always thinking about it, hoping that that will bring it in faster, that means you're actually thinking about its lack in your life, how it's lacking in your life, not how it's present. And you want to get yourself to a mindset where it's present, where you feel that it's present, even if you can't see it, even if you can't hear it, taste it, feel it, touch it. Okay, you've got to move beyond being so infatuated with what's going on around you, with the physical reality. It's not important. What's important is the reality you've got going on inside yourself. That's what's manifesting for you, not this. Okay? Learning to not react so much to this is a vital part of manifesting it successfully and efficiently. So no, my friend, you're doing everything right. But the thing is, of course, you don't have to always, get yourself to that exhausted point, that drained point in order to let go. You can train yourself to let go without going through all of that. So learn to meditate, learn to calm down, learn to center and ground yourself. Get involved in your life. Get involved in things that you love, your passions, your hobbies. Because if you're sitting around all day long thinking about some other person, you're not involved with anything else that you love. It's like you've put everything else in your life on hold for this one thing. But that has the mindset behind it of, I don't have that thing. I don't have that thing. I don't have that thing. You got to let go. So that's what you're doing. You're letting go. The fact that it doesn't really feel that important. It's like, I want it still, but it's not a big deal if I don't have it. Boom, that's when things happen. That's when things suddenly move. And you go, what happened? I stopped thinking about it. I stopped caring about it so much, and now it comes? Yes. Listen to Tarkan and others. So, I hope that answers that question for you. Thank you for that comment, Pac fan. Oh, okay. So this is from Manifestation Queen. And this is actually kind of ties into your comment, to the first comment. I have started to look for things that give me just as much joy as thinking and dreaming about my SP. And boom! There was a text message from him. High five. Boom. Look at that. You see that, Pac fan? Okay, listen to that. So what happened there? She didn't make it the center of her universe anymore. She didn't make the SP the most important thing in her life anymore. She stopped putting so much importance on the SP. And guess what? Boom. Manifested. So what did she do? There's other things that give you joy. Other things that don't have such an emotional charge for you. You want to get away from that. And if you're thinking about your specific person or your major desire all the time, stressing about it, you need to switch focus. You need to learn to pivot to things, thinking about things, talking about things, doing things that don't feel so intense to you, that feel good to you, that you have fun talking about and doing and getting involved in. Because that means you're living your life. That means you're getting involved with yourself. You're actually being good to yourself. You're loving yourself. You're not making them the center of the universe. You're not putting them on a pedestal. And when you're able to do that, that's when they can easily and freely move towards you. You see? Let the things unfold. You don't need to think about it and obsess about it all the time. Do what Manifestation Queen did. Find the things that give you just as much joy as thinking and dreaming about your specific person. Now, if you think and dream about them and it makes you feel really good without any sort of, worry thoughts, fear thoughts, or I'm doing this because I need to manifest them, then that's fine. If you're doing it in a playful way, dreaming about them, then that's perfect. Then do that. But don't think that that's what you need to do 24/7. You don't. Find other things. Have your little session of visualizing and feeling it real, and then go do the next thing, and go do the next thing, and go do the next thing. Like Bashar says, what's the most exciting thing for me to do that I'm capable of doing in this very moment? Do that thing until you can't do anymore, then find the next most exciting thing. And as you do that, that's actually following the breadcrumbs. That's following the path towards everything that you want. Okay? Awesome. 𝗙𝗪𝗃𝗃 is asking, hey Tarkhan, I always envy friends and frankly, I don't want them to succeed and am glad if they fail. Oh my goodness. Schadenfreude, that's a German word. That means you delight in the failure of others. How do I stop this stupid attitude of mine? I know this is a toxic trait that should be handled. Well, look, I don't think that really deep down inside you want people to fail. You may think and may feel that way to you. Like, there's a couple of things possibly going on here. I think, firstly, there's you have a strong lack mindset going on. And that comes from the idea that we've all been trained to think of and trained to embrace by the stupid systems that have raised us, that there are limited resources. There are limited things of every good thing is limited in this universe. Okay? And therefore we must compete for them. Or if somebody has a pile of something, that means they took it away from somebody else. And somebody has less because somebody has more than they should have or need. This is a stupid, lackful mindset, right? I'm not calling you stupid. I'm saying that idea is stupid, and it's one that we practice all too often in our culture, in our society, on this planet, because when we come from a manifesting standpoint, there is no lack. To universal mind, there is no lack of anything. There's only abundance. But you are so focused in your lack that you have this idea that other people have something that means they're taking it away from me because there are only limited resources to go around. Limited money, limited success, limited love, whatever it is, you name it. In your mind somewhere you have a limiting belief that things are limited, that good things are limited. And therefore, if somebody else has it, that must mean they came by it by hook or crook, or they took it away from someone like me, who wants his share of that. There's only so much of the pie. This is how the systems that have controlled us for too long on this planet keep us scrambling and scraping and competing and killing each other and robbing and stealing and manipulating and conning each other. They keep us in that hamster wheel, in that rat race, because they want us scrapping over a little crumb of bread. Because they've convinced us that there are limited amounts to things in this world, in this universe. There aren't. See, people who think like us now as manifestors, we're dangerous to those systems. They don't like it very much. That's too bad for them. Tough shit. Tough titty. Because this is the direction things are moving now, whether they like it or not. And all the things they're doing demonstrate that they're panicked about this, because see, they also come from a lackful mindset. They think they must lie to us and manipulate us because they want all of our little things, our little goodies, because they also think there's not enough of those goodies to go around. So now as a powerful manifestor, you understand you don't need to think that way anymore. Nobody's taking anything away from you. Nobody's stealing anything from you. No one has your share of things because you create it all and they create it all. If you see somebody having what you perceive to be more than you, use them as an inspiration. Use them as a learning tool. Talk to them. Study them. Find out what they're doing. What is their mindset about? There's something for you to pick up there. There's something for you to learn there. So instead of making them your enemy, instead of thinking you must compete with them or you must watch your goodies or they will come and take all your goodies, make them your allies. Make them your allies in learning. Make them your allies in understanding. Make them your allies in creating. Look at them, study them, talk to them, interview them. Hey, you seem to have a pretty good life. You seem to have good things going on. How'd you do that? What's your attitude about money? What's your attitude about good health? What's your attitude about relationships? Listen to them. Be a journalist. Be an interviewer. Be a reporter. Yeah? Try to get to the bottom of it. And then when you figure it out, what their mindset is, what their attitude is, because you'll see that they have the opposite of a lackful mindset, then you work on building your abundance mindset. And you do that through appreciation and gratitude. That's what that's for. And you hear people like me talk about it all the damn time. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. But it's important. It's not because we're asking you to grovel in front of God and say, thank you so much for giving me a scrap of cheese. What we're saying is, I'm training myself to see how abundant this universe truly is. I'm overriding the old limiting belief of lack. My brain is a computer. So I have this old operating system running my computer. It's slowing everything down. It's gumming up the works, and it's outdated and outmoded, and it no longer serves me. So I must introduce and install a new operating system, a new way of looking at things. So I'm going to begin to practice the idea of abundance. That means I'm going to look for things that are abundant in my life. I'm going to look for where I have it good. And I'm going to write those things down, and I'm going to read those things every day until I pound it into my monkey brain that I am rich already, that I have what I want already, that I'm lacking in nothing. And then, instead of blaming others for having seemingly more than I do, I will celebrate with them. I will delight in their abundance, because I know that I am as well abundant, and so we can be abundant together. Right? There's no need to compete, and there's no need to compare yourself to others any longer. Really, I can't say this enough. And and this acts itself out in your life in other areas. The idea of comparing yourself to others. If you're SP and you're scared that they have another person in their life, you're going to be comparing yourself to them. Oh, I'm not as good looking. I'm not as rich. I'm not as this. I'm not as that. I'm not as tall. I'm not as handsome. They have better hair than me. They have this. And so you're constantly in this hamster wheel of trying to always, you're just always dumping on yourself and thinking that you're lacking on things. That's where that mindset comes from, my friend. That's really at the core of it, is that you have a lackful mindset. You have a limiting belief system going on that says you don't have enough and there's not enough to go around for everyone. So the ones that seem to have more are stealing from the rest of us. It's not true. Okay? Remember, do your gratitude. And it's such a simple exercise. Do your gratitude journal. Open one up. Look at everything that's going well in your life. And trust me, you'll see it. It might be a little challenging at first because you're so trained in that other direction of not having things that are good in your life. But if you sit down and you give yourself 5 minutes to think of just one thing or two things or three things, and they can be little things, they can be anything. Watch how those dominoes will fall. And suddenly a bunch of things will flood your mind that are going well in your life, and you'll feel better. And if you practice that daily, regularly, trust me, you will override that old operating system, that limiting operating system. So now we have another comment. Just a quick question. This is from Mista. Hi, Mista. Hey, Tarkan, what are your thoughts on checking your ex-SP social media when trying to manifest them back? Well, I have mentioned this quite a lot. I don't recommend you do it. That is to say, I don't recommend you do it if you're worried about, are they with somebody else? You're checking on them. If they see if there's somebody else, what have they posted? Are they talking about me? Are they remembering things about me? Are they sending me secret messages through the social media? Again, this comes down to obsessing about them. Okay, if you're sitting around checking their social media, what are you not doing? You're not living your life. You're not living your life. You're living their life, or you're observing their life, and you're looking for any scrap of evidence or any scrap of reassurance that they still love you, that they're not with anybody else, and all this kind of stuff. It's going to drive you crazy. So no, don't do it. That doesn't mean you should block them or anything like that. You can unfollow people so that they don't show up in your news feed necessarily, okay? That's just a matter of sort of padding your experience in the social media realm, okay? This stuff can work to our advantage. It can work against us too, because again, if you're obsessing about an ex and you're constantly checking their social media, you're obsessing about them. You're not manifesting them. You're not thinking about them in a positive sense. You're not feeling it real. Remember, you want to live in the end. That means like you already have them in your life again. So would you be checking their social media all day long, every day, if they were back with you and you were having a great relationship with them? No. If you wouldn't do it if you were back with them, then don't do it now. Okay? Remember, you need to start training and adopting the mindset that you already have them back in your life, whether they are or not. Take your focus off the reality that's going on around you. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. You're creating the reality. The only reality that matters is the one you're creating on the inside. So you need to feel like you have them back in your life. You're not going to do that if you're checking their social media all the time. Okay? Now, if it really doesn't matter to you, and I think this is rare, but if it really doesn't matter to you and you're just doing it for fun and you really are sure that you're not going to have any jealousy issues or any upset or anything like that, then go ahead and do it, okay? But I think for most of you at this point, maybe that's not the case. I think the case might be more you're checking in on them all the time. You're obsessing about them and who are they with and who are they doing it with and are they talking about me? So cut that out, okay? Focus on yourself. What makes you happy in your life? What brings you joy? Go do those things. Involve yourself in your life, because that's going to grow your confidence. That's the person they want back. The confident person who doesn't obsess about them all the time, who doesn't put them on a pedestal all the time. Nobody wants to be put on a pedestal. Maybe rock stars, but they get sick of it pretty quick too, right? Celebrities, look at them. They're all a freaking mess. They're not happy. Nobody wants to be put on a damn pedestal. All right? So, don't do it. That's the simple question. Not right now. Okay, so 𝗻𝘂𝗍𝗔1111. Can you please make a video about speaking about what you want and not speaking about it, because it's super confusing to me? Some channels say be vocal about your dreams, but others say whatever you do, don't say them. Don't speak about them, I guess. I've never said out loud to my family and friends what I want, and it never manifested. I am strong and I won't give up. I like to say things are working out. I don't know how, but I'm getting it and I'm having what I want. But I just want to know, what is better, to share your dreams vocally, or is it all about what you feel is right? Thank you. Have a beautiful day. You as well. Thank you for the comment. Yeah, so, what I would say about this, it's not necessary to speak about your desire, to bring it in. The universe doesn't listen to your words. It doesn't hear your words. It hears your feelings. It hears what your state of being is. It reads your vibration and your intention, okay? That's why it's so important we talk about vibration, we talk about energy, because that's what universal mind picks up on. It doesn't have a mouth or ears. That's how we communicate here in the physical realm, okay? So the thing I want to say about talking about your desire to people that, friends and family, people that are in your life, I would say don't do it if you're not sure that they are going to encourage you, that they are going to be on board, that they're going to go, oh, that's awesome. Oh, yeah, I'm really into manifesting too, and I totally believe in it, and I think you can do it. If you're not 100% sure that that's the kind of feedback you're going to get from them, don't talk about it. Okay? If you have a friend who's really into manifesting, who totally gets this stuff, right? And you can talk to them about it, and you can be honest and open with them about it, and you know that they're going to encourage you rather than piss on your parade, then talk to them about it, okay? Find somebody that you can talk to about it. If there's nobody like that in your life, and you really feel you need to talk about your desire, and you want to bounce ideas off people, go join groups and forums. You can join the Facebook group for this channel, Manifestation Lab group. You can join other groups, okay? You find people online that have a similar mindset, okay? But I would say often, just don't talk about it so much if you're not sure, if you're scared, because I guess that you are, because you're asking the question. That must be something you're worried about, that you're not 100% sure that your family and friends are going to understand what you're doing, are going to really believe in what you're doing, or get it, or that they might discourage you and say, oh, just move on, and all this kind of stuff that people usually, kind of the vanilla advice that people tend to throw out to each other, especially when it comes to relationships. Okay, just move on and blah, blah, blah. I know. Everybody wants to be an expert. But look, if you're right, though, you want to feel it more than say it. Saying it isn't so important, okay? You're not going to bring it about more if you say it and speak it into the world. Like I said, the universe and universal mind, it's about matching up with its frequency. That's all it is. It's just a matching up. So you want to get yourself into the feeling of having it, okay? And if you have to talk to anybody about it, talk to yourself about it. Talk to yourself in an encouraging way about it. You know, take care of your mind chatter. Take care of your self-talk, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. Because self-talk, that's really important. Pay attention to what's going on, because if you want to talk about it, chances are what you're looking for is reassurance from other people. Because you haven't really done the work inside to really get to the place of understanding that you're a powerful creator. You don't need anybody else to create for you. In fact, they can't create for you. You're the only one that can create for you. So you don't need to worry so much about this technique or speaking about it or thinking about it all the time, because it's enough to train yourself into the mindset of already having what it is you want and looking at life from that perspective, okay? From that perspective, you will feel that you already have it. It's a done deal. You don't need to worry about it anymore, and it will come in due time. It will come at the perfect time, so you don't worry about the time, okay? It's not about time, it's about timing, and you leave that part up to the universe, because it's always working on your behalf. It's always working to bring you what you want. It's just that you stand in the way of it by obsessing about it, by doubting it, by worrying about it, right? By constantly running your energy down. So you want to begin to train yourself into a mindset of, I have it already. What would it feel like if I had this already? How would I speak about things? How would I feel about things? How would I walk and carry myself? What kind of attitude would I have? How would I feel most of the time? Ask yourself those questions, and then your mind will answer, and your higher being will answer. And then those are the feelings. That's the mindset that you're reaching for, and you practice that. You practice becoming the person that already has what it is that they want. That's all that this is about. So you don't need to speak to friends and family about it. Again, I'll stress this. If you have a friend or a family member who really understands this stuff, and you think that speaking to them will encourage you and will also, maybe they can teach you things, then by all means do it. But if you're not 100% sure that they're going to be on board with what it is that you are doing, then I would avoid it. It's not necessary, okay? It's a bit like playing Russian roulette with your vibration, with your energy, right? You don't know if that's going to be a bullet or not. So, thank you for that comment. I hope that answers that for you. So, the next one, 𝗙់𝗿 I hope I didn't slaughter that. Hey, Tarkan, I have a question about manifesting a specific person. If my specific person is married, then can I write on my script that he got a divorce and try to manifest his divorce? Is that okay? You can, but again, if you're scripting about them getting a divorce, what are you focused on? Are you focused? Is that coming from a focus of they're available? There's nothing standing in my way. There are no obstacles towards manifesting them. Or are you scripting about them getting a divorce from a place of being hyper aware that they are married to somebody? Right? So really, it's one of those kind of sticky situations, okay? And it's one of those nuanced situations where people tend to trip up because they think they have to unmanifest all the obstacles. That means that they're hyper aware of there being obstacles, you see. If I'm trying to undo something, then I'm hyper aware in that moment and hyper focused on the fact that there's something that I need to undo first in order to have some kind of success or forward movement. So I would avoid scripting about them getting a divorce, okay? Because in doing so, again, it's like saying, it's like affirming, it's like affirming, I'm not sick, I'm not sick, I'm not sick, I'm not sick, okay? What are you focused on if you're affirming that and repeating that all over? You're focused on being sick, not on being healthy, okay? You can affirm, I am healthy, I am healthy, I am perfect health. I am perfect health. That's a whole different way of looking at it, isn't it? It's like saying, I'm not anti-war, but I'm pro-peace. Because being anti-war means you're focused on how much war there is. And if you're focused on how much war there is, that's all you're going to see, is war and conflict. But if you go, I love peace. Peace is amazing. Peace is the best thing ever. Peace makes me feel so wonderful. I'm so at peace right now. I am peace. I am perfect peace and tranquility. Then what are you promoting? What are you focused on now? You're focused on peace. See? So apply that to your situation. Apply that to your question. If you're affirming they're divorced, they're divorced, they're divorced, they're divorced, you're actually focused on how they're not divorced. So you might as well be affirming they're married, they're married, they're married. Okay? So I would do things and I would avoid scripting about they're divorced. One thing you can do is that you imagine the person that they're with being happy with somebody else. You know, because again, this comes down to the competition mindset that I talked about earlier with the other commenters that brought up, there's kind of a theme emerging here, right? This idea of lack and this idea of competition, this idea of that person's better than me and I must compare myself to them. You don't need to compare yourself to them. You don't need to fight the third party or whatever. You don't need to, you know, wish them harm or wish that they're going to get a fight and get into a divorce, because that's also not coming from a loving place. Send them love. Listen now, I know, ooh, you all kind of shuddered there for a minute. Did you get goosebumps? What do you mean send them love? I don't want to send them love. I want them to fall off a cliff. No, I know you don't want them to fall off a cliff, but send them love. And what that means is, hey, I appreciate who they are and they're helping my person grow and mature, so that when they come back to me, they're actually going to be a better version of themselves. And it'll be due to that person they've been with that, you know, that they will be. And I wish that person all the best in the world. I wish for that person to find somebody that really, 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 really makes their wheel spin, right? I wish for them to find somebody, their soulmate, that they're going to be totally, utterly happy with. You imagine that third party being happy. Being happy. Send them love. That's how you get yourself into an abundance mindset and out of a competitive, comparing yourself to others mindset. Okay? Now, that's not necessary to do, because really all you need to do is just picture yourself with them. It doesn't matter all the stuff that came before. It doesn't matter how you got there. Project yourself in your script, in your visualizing, a few years down the road, and the two of you are married and having a nice little time together at home. Maybe you're at a restaurant. Who knows? Maybe you're sitting around together drinking wine and looking at your wedding photos. Remember when Uncle Albert got, you know, so loaded he puked on the wedding cake, or you laugh about it. Not on your wedding day, you're not going to laugh about it, but you'll laugh about it later. That's enough to do, okay? Because all the things that will happen in between now and that picture that you're scripting and that scene that you're imagining, those are all the steps that the universe is going to take care of, okay? You don't need to worry about taking care of it and micromanaging it. You really don't. Again, this comes from a sense of I must do something because I don't really trust in the universal process and the creative process. So I must interfere with it. I must script about them getting a divorce because I don't trust that that's going to happen unless I script and focus about it. You don't need to manage every little step of the manifestation process. You don't need to manifest every little thing. I'm going to manifest a text message now. Okay, I've done that. Now I'm going to manifest some flirting. Okay, I've done that. Now I'm going to manifest a date. Okay, I've done that. How exhausting is that? And what are you focused on? You're focused on needing to do things all the time to get them into your life because guess what? You're not focusing on yourself. You're focusing all the time on them and how they're not with you. And then you wonder why they're not with you yet. So, but having said all that, if you send them love and then you release them, right? You release them and you send them off in love and you imagine them being nothing but happy with somebody else, then you can avoid this sort of energy, this toxic energy of competitiveness and needing them to go away and all this kind of stuff. All right? It's not necessary for you to do that, for you to manifest every step of the way, but just imagine them for a moment just being at peace and being with somebody else and being utterly happy. And then that creates room for you and your person to come back together and be happy. Okay? You can do that. But no, I would avoid scripting specifically about them getting a divorce and all that kind of stuff. All right? Because if you go to the end, and the end is them being happy with somebody else, that means the third party, the person that your SP is married to, being happy with somebody else. That's coming from a loving place, a compassionate place. But that's also going to the end result of they're already happy with somebody else. They're in love with somebody else. It's wonderful. It's great. And me and my person are together and married and living in absolute bliss. Okay? So you want to get to the end result. But really, honestly, don't even worry about all that. Sending them love and all that. You can do that, okay? But again, there is an element and a kind of twinge of they're still there and I need to take care of them and that's annoying. And, you know, go to the end with you and your specific person, okay? Just script about that. Don't worry about the steps that it took to get there and how can I do it if they're in Australia and I'm in Mongolia, and how can I do it? The moon just crashed into the sun, so how am I going to get back together with them now? You know, these are all things that come up, that your mind comes up with as reasons to talk you out of what it is that you want, because your mind thinks change is dangerous. So it's trying to protect you in its stupid primal kind of way, okay? But you got to start thinking more from the heart and less from the brain, okay? If you think from heart space and you operate from heart space, you wouldn't ever worry about them getting a divorce. You would send love to your specific person and to their person right now that they're with, and to yourself, most importantly. And you would send that energy out there, and then you would say, universe, I know you've got this. I know you're going to take care of this. I know you know what I want. I know you're constantly working on my behalf to get it, to put it together in the perfect way at the perfect time. So I'm just going to go to the end now where I can enjoy the feeling of having the thing that I want. And I'm not going to worry about everything that comes in between because I know you got this. Okay? That's a much better way to approach things. So, I think we have one more here. Yeah, there's one more I wanted to read here because it has an interesting little thing. So this is from Xenia the Veteran. Hello. And I answered one of your questions, I think, in the last video. So thank you for answering my question. That really helped me. You're welcome. I also want to add that, yes, I am indeed enjoying life and having fun. That's it. That's all you got to do. I have always had an adventuresome and athletic spirit, and even though my body doesn't reflect it yet, doesn't matter, it will. I'm getting back in touch with that athletic side of me since I live in a part of the world full of beautiful wilderness, challenging sports, and driven, ambitious people that I can relate to in many healthy ways. This is the right attitude. I learned the value of approaching the whole process of manifesting with a sense of curiosity and a desire to play and experiment and a desire to connect with the environment around me just for fun. Just for fun. What a concept. I'm just going to do things for fun, and I'm not going to worry about everything that I want and need and yada yada. I'm just going to do things for fun. I'm going to be playful and experimental, and I'm going to get involved in things that I love, and I'm going to look for all the positive aspects of everything around me. Look at the beautiful place I live in. Look at the beautiful wilderness. Look at all these wonderful, awesome, driven, ambitious people around me that I can learn from and be inspired by. Look, okay, you know what? Maybe things aren't exactly physically the way I want them to be, but hey, who cares? I feel good in doing this. I feel good in exploring this. I feel good in experimenting with this. I'm like a child with my curiosity. I'm playing in this environment. And I'm having fun, and I'm building my confidence, and I'm enjoying myself. And I do indeed feel confident and strong in this unique way. It's very liberating indeed. Yes, when you finally throw off the shackles of your ego, this idea that you need things to happen and obsessing about things, and you look around you and you learn to be in the moment. Right now, right here, what do I have going for me? Look at the beautiful weather. Look at this beautiful neighborhood I live in. Look at these wonderful, inspiring people. Look at all the things I'm capable of doing right now for myself. Look at all this freedom I have right now to change my life, to change my mindset. And in that way, that's how you move towards what it is you want. Be experimental, be curious, be playful with this. Don't take it so seriously, okay? Life was never meant to be taken seriously. I know that's a tough one to swallow for a lot, but it's really true. Okay, so that last one I wanted to read, and thank you for that comment, because it's something for you to think about. It's something for you to shoot for. Okay, that's the attitude that you're going for, guys. All right, and you'll see practice makes perfect. In the end, you'll see it never was that difficult to begin with. It's just a matter of practicing a new habit. That can be a little challenging at first, but keep at it, be persistent, and don't give up. All right? So thank you for all your comments, guys. I really appreciate it. There's some awesome comments. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to read them and discuss them. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't done so already, please do so now. There's that little button there. If you want to leave me a tip, you can do so down below, and I always appreciate those, guys. There's 2 links there for Cash App and for PayPal. There's also a link for my coaching services down there in the description box. And with that, I will leave you for now until next week. Thanks for watching. I'm Tarkan. Happy manifesting. And until next time, bye-bye.